Hola y bienvenidos a Amores Patos. Hi, welcome to Amores Patos. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm your other host, Faby. This is a podcast where two best friends get together and talk about the premiere of every show in the Disney afternoon.
This is episode 97 of Amores Patos. I had to pull up my notes real quick. And we are recapping the first episode of the premiere of Talespin. That is Plunder Lightning, Part 1.
Cheers, claps.
Yes, you made it. You made it. Fucking finally.
Yes.
Not only something new,
Mm-hmm.
but something good.
I mean, yeah.
Cause we had a very short stint of Gummy Bears, and then we were right back in DuckTales.
Yeah.
No complaints.
Oh, obviously,
But
yeah.
DuckTales is very familiar to us.
Extremely.
So it was hard to find new stuff to talk about in our recaps. And then listeners, as you know, we were trapped in the quagmire with Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
Purgatory, honestly.
Ooh, we were going through it last episode.
Yeah.
Last episode was, I think, our most unhinged. I feel like I was losing it.
I don't remember.
Gelatin.
Oh, yeah. Shit got crazy.
Gelatin earthquake, folks.
You know, the best earthquakes. That's
Ooh,
weird.
that's behind us.
We can
We-
forget.
You can forget. It's gone from my mind. We are in 1990. Tailspin time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very excited.
I know.
I loved. I'm wearing a Tailspin shirt.
You are. Ooh, I like that one.
It's got all the guys on them.
Yeah.
It's got like really everyone but Shirkan.
Yeah.
And Carnage, whatever. I've got a shirt with all the good guys.
Yeah.
I adore Tailspin.
Yeah.
It is one of the few Disney afternoon shows where I have actually watched every single episode.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, DuckTales is first. I watched all 100.
Yes.
Applause. Thank you. I have watched most of Darkwing Duck. I have like 10 episodes that I'm still missing.
Same, probably?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of them together.
Yeah, yeah.
Tailspin, I have watched all of. And except for maybe 5 episodes, I really, really like this show. I think as a whole, besides Gargoyles, which is a perfect show, perfect, my god. I think Tailspin is my favorite of the Disney afternoon shows.
Yeah.
It just kind of just in terms of quality.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in terms of like my like nostalgia and love for characters, Darkwing Duck is still one or two
Yeah.
battling for Gargoyles. And DuckTales,
Yeah.
it's hard to cut. Like just because Gargoyles just like kind of destroys everyone else in terms
Yeah.
of like world building and lore.
From what I've seen, yeah. I was like, what do you mean? This is also part of like the Disney afternoon.
It's crazy. We won't get to Gargoyles for a while. It's 1995.
Fuck.
Because after Tailspin is Darkwing Duck, and then Goof Troop, and then Bonkers?
Oh.
Or is Bonkers after? I really couldn't say.
Mhm.
I know Gargoyles is 1995 though, and I feel like there's a bit of it. I'm missing something in between Goof Troop and Gargoyles.
Yeah.
Maybe Mighty Ducks.
Mighty?
What came out in 93? I'm not gonna check. Tailspin. I love Tailspin. I hope if you have not watched it, if you're listening to this now, check it out on Disney Plus if you have it, or on various free streaming services that are online.
Yes. You'll find it.
You'll find them. But
Yeah.
I have a lot to say.
Yes.
Finally. Fucking finally. Oh.
It's okay. You're okay now.
Okay, I'm safe. This is a safe place.
Yes.
But yes, without further ado, let us get into the game show within our podcast. Because it is now time for Duck or False.
We're sitting right next to each other, so I have to actively not look at
Yes, thank
screen.
you. I appreciate that. right, Faby. Duck or false?
Okay.
Don Rosa, acclaimed Scrooge McDuck comic book writer, wrote 2 episodes of Talespin.
Duck?
Duck.
Yeah.
I have asked this question before.
I hear it rattling in my brain.
I worded it differently.
Okay.
This was for our recap of the Lost Cargo of Kit Cloudkicker. Our one of 2 or 3 least favorite episodes of DuckTales.
Yeah.
The corn episode, I think, is still number 1.
Yeah.
I haven't forgotten the corn episode.
No.
The Golden Armory of Cornelius Coots.
I hate that episode.
That's our least favorite episode. Followed by the Lost Cargo of Kit Cloudkicker.
But see, I hate Lost Cargo more.
Yeah?
I think I do.
Wow.
I think I've come to hate it more. Yeah.
I re-listened to her talk about it because I wanted to see how much I talked about Talespin.
Okay, yeah.
Not a lot. I did Talespin a fucking disservice in that episode. My God. I have much better lore and history now, but such a fucking disservice. Almost as much as that episode. But yeah, we did not like that DuckTales episode.
No. And that's the thing, at least like Cornelius bores me.
Yeah.
And baffles me.
Yeah. It has like the funny like Louis getting hit with the shovel that saves the episode. And big time inside with the covered wagon as his disguise.
Yeah, basically it.
That's it.
Lost Cargo actively makes me angry.
Especially after rewatching Talespin, I'm like, what did they do to Kit? Who are you? Who is this imposter? This isn't Kit. Who is this?
Yeah. My biggest thing is like, if you wanted Baloo, you could have probably just
why didn't just put Baloo?
Yeah.
Or just write Kit correctly.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, we got off topic.
I know.
I need to elaborate on my Duck False. We'll complain about DuckTales more. So Don Rosa did write 2 episodes of Talespin. Back on topic.
Wild.
He wrote episode 6. It came from Beneath the Sea Duck, which is where it's an episode about where Kit and Baloo save a whale from a SeaWorld type carnival.
Okay.
Where they're abusing the sea they're abusing the sea creatures there.
Yeah.
And it's a fine episode. It's fine. And the episode I Only Have Ice for You.
Oh.
Where I need to revoke my Duck fan membership card. Because this is the episode where the Mount Everest is not only name dropped, but Baloo physically flies to it. I don't know how this didn't come up in my research of like episode fucking 3 or 5. It was episode 5 of original DuckTales. I can't remember its fucking name.
I don't remember.
Christ. I can never remember its name. What did we even name it?
Did I name it like I hate this fucking episode?
You know, like the Mount Everest, the launch pad, right? The Impossible. It was episode 9.
Oh,
we suck at these numbers. We capped every single one of these episodes, and we cannot remember the order.
One thing also, did it actually air in that order?
Yeah, because it was meant to be a later episode. It was meant to be later, but they moved it up because winter equals Christmas.
Yeah.
Episode 9, The Impossible Summit of Mount Everest. Got off fucking topic. Anyway, so I was watching this episode. I Only Have Ice for You. La-di-da, fun Talespin episode. I was on the treadmill at the gym. They name dropped Mount Everest, and I wanted to jump off. I wanted to just collapse and let the treadmill take me.
Just
I swear, I was distraught that I missed this. Failure.
No, it's Google's fault for not knowing.
I swear. Whoa. I felt like I was like losing my mind when I heard Mount Everest. I'm like, oh my fucking God.
When you told me, I was like, oh, that's odd that just never came.
And I never saw online anywhere either.
Yeah.
I saw people mentioning that Mount Everest was a Talespin reference, but no one ever cited an episode or anything. So I was like, whatever.
Wow.
So Don Rosa wrote these 2 episodes. And I remember noticing when I watched the episodes, the credits came up, and I saw Don Rosa skim by, and I was like,
Yeah.
hold up. These? Yes. I don't know the history behind this, but I think it's very funny.
No,
Like, because
yeah.
1990, I think this was maybe right when he started doing Donald Duck comics. He did Donald Duck and Uncle Scrooge comics. I think this would have been right around that time because The Life and Times was published in 1997, I believe.
Okay.
And he started writing comics, writing and illustrating comics before that.
Yeah.
So it would have been around that time he started working with Disney, I assume.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, just interesting.
That's so
Yeah.
so random.
Very random. But yeah. All of my failures aside, it is time for Talespin lore.
Yeah.
I was very excited to finally do notes.
Yeah.
There's no lore for Rescue Rangers. Especially doing my research for this show. Rescue Rangers has no, like, passion behind it because it was kind of like a corporate assignment. Michael Eisner,
Yeah.
like, I know, like, we talk about how Tad Stones had it, and I had an idea with a original character. No, what's his fucking name? Kirby, something. Something
I would
Kirby?
say like Ace, but that's not the name.
No.
Oh, I don't remember.
I forgot his name.
Yes.
Apologies. He had an idea for original character, like an Indiana Jones type mouse. Like, I think either in the same universe as Rescuers or something. It was more like more of an original idea.
Yeah.
When then Michael Eisner was like, "Put your Bandale in it."
Let's reskin your
Yes.
your OC.
Yeah, where I think Tailspin has from my research I learned a very dedicated showrunner. So, like, there was two, but there was very kind of one specifically who was the one kind of the mastermind kind of behind it, which I found really interesting. Yeah, so the Jungle Book. Who remembers that movie? So my notes in this section are courtesy of Spin It, a Tailspin retrospective on the Feathery Society, which is a Disney fan forum.
Ooh, dedication.
Whoever this person was put so much research, had lots of links. I'll see if I can attach a link. Can I put a link in the show notes? I'll do that because they did so much research, and it was very helpful for me. So, Disney's The Jungle Book, released in 1967, and it was based on the 1894 collection of stories by English author Rudyard Kipling. Oh, I pronounced that correctly.
I don't know.
Apologies to his estate. Almost everyone knows the Disney version. Everyone knows Baloo.
Yeah.
Everyone knows Baloo's song because Bare Necessities was nominated for an Oscar
Yeah.
for, I assume, Best Original Song. Blah, blah.
So good.
But it's funny because Disney's Jungle Book was basically, it was not true to the book.
Yeah.
It's the Disney adaptation of a book. But more specifically in the characters of Baloo and Bagheera.
Okay.
Their personalities were basically switched from what they were in the books.
Oh.
Which I find very interesting.
Yeah.
In the book, the bear he's described as a grave and sober schoolmaster kind of figure. While Bagheera was the reckless and fun-loving one.
Yeah, yeah.
They absolutely
completely
They switch that and they make Baloo, quote unquote, the jungle bum of the movie. Incredible job. Good choice. Movie Baloo is now the most remembered part of the movie.
Yeah.
Also, partly because of the Bare Necessity song, which became this insane hit and everybody knows it. But also, he's like the standout character that has kind of stood the test of time.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would kind of look his way in the 80s and 90s when they were making a good number of cartoons based off or using established Disney characters.
Yeah.
Obviously, before Tailspin, there was DuckTales.
Yes.
And there was Rescue Rangers. Gummy Bears, we're just not going to look at them right now. Gummy Bears and their defense was added to the Disney Afternoon belatedly.
Yeah, yeah.
They kind of
threw it. You can join, I guess.
They kind of threw it out into the ether along with the Wuzzles, but the Wuzzles petered out and died in a horrible fire, whereas Gummy Bears survived.
Yeah.
Gummy Bears had a bit more.
Yeah, yeah.
Definitely. I watched one episode of the Wuzzles over a year ago for our DuckTales, Tailspin, Lost Cargo of Kid, Clout Kicker, whatever, recap. I watched the one episode of the Wuzzles. The most boring shit I've ever seen. My god, boring as hell. At least Gummy Bears had more going on.
Yeah, more like story.
It had a suggestion of lore, which I presume the show explored later on.
Yeah, I'm never going back to that.
No, I'm done. I'm done with gummy bears. Quack Pack. That was I think in '94.
Okay.
Maybe. I'd have to double check that. I think it's before. It is before Gargoyles because there
Yeah.
was a Quack Pack reference in Gargoyles.
Oh, nice.
Good job, me. Anyway, so it's the late '80s.
Ooh.
Jim Magon is the man primarily responsible for Talespin.
Uh-huh.
He'd been involved in the creation of both Gummy Bears and DuckTales,
Oh, okay.
which kind of shows up in this, like
Yeah.
that kind of experience. The Disney Afternoon higher ups wanted another show to run on the Disney Afternoon, what would become known as the Disney Afternoon block.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted something run alongside DuckTales, Gummy Bears, and Rescue Rangers.
Huh.
And Magon's original pitch was for a show called The B Players,
Oh.
about one-time Disney animation stars and would-be stars trying to win comeback or first-time roles in a toon version of Hollywood.
Oh.
This is kind of like bonkers,
Oh, okay.
which is weird. Baloo was conceived as one of the leading characters as a one-time Disney star.
Getting horrible reboot Rescue Rangers movie flashbacks.
Yeah, a little bit. Sorry. Ooh, yeah, our 4-hour descent into darkness. That was the Rescue Rangers movie recap. Yes, so this was Jim Magon's kind of original pitch, but there was no interest, which good. This idea kind of became bonkers.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause Bonkers was a kind of a one-time star in his universe.
Oh.
And then
Don't know anything about Bonkers.
You know?
Amazing.
there was a cat that had it all. What did you say? Top of the game up until he hit up until he hit the wall.
No.
Okay, I'm done. Anyway, so no interest in this idea. So Magon didn't turn to another idea that'll make you sad. Oh. There was some consideration during the developmental phase of DuckTales to have a show where Launchpad was the operator of an air freight service and the main character of the series. People think this was back when there was kind of uncertainty as to how many classic Disney duck characters they could use in DuckTales. Like the nephews were up in the air for a while. So Magon combined the pitch for the original DuckTales, the Launchpad air freight service.
Could have had it all.
How Darkwing Duck was it? No, not Darkwing. Double O Duck.
Yeah.
Was Launchpad meant to be the original? Launchpad was meant to be the main character of that too, but they're like, no, he's not strong enough to hold a series.
One day Launchpad. He's forever secondary.
Yes, he's too dumb.
I mean, yeah, and if you were to make him less dumb, he is no longer Launchpad, so that's the tragedy of his character.
Yep. We'll see the Darkwing Duck reboot. Let's see how that goes.
God.
We live in fear every day of the potential of the Darkwing Duck reboot.
It's like fear that we'll never hear from it ever again, but also fear that we will.
And that it'll be horrible.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, as I was saying, they combined the cargo pilot idea from the old DuckTales pitch with the character of Baloo from the B Players pitch, and a new show was born. The World of Cape Suzette. Love that name, by the way.
Such a good name.
Makes me want a crepe Suzette. I've had it once. It was very good.
I just saw your video.
I just set it on fire. It's great. So, Talespin is very unique for many reasons. One of them is the world that they create. I think this world definitely we see inspiration from like DuckTales, kind of where they started, but the world feels much more expansive. So I think we can definitely see in Cape Suzette and the Talespin show as a whole the inspiration that kind of started with DuckTales, with this fully animal world.
Yeah.
But I think it definitely feels much more fleshed out and much bigger than Talespin. The world feels much bigger. I think part of that has to do with the kind of proliferation of planes. So Talespin is set in a 1930s kind of world.
Yeah.
it's never explicitly said, but it's clearly fits from the technology, and we'll see Cape Suzette herself is a very Art Deco city.
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
It's really beautiful, and you see like you get these shots of like just how big it is, and how like I get this like it's like futuristic in the sense of Art Deco. It always kind of calls to futurism, but also like a little steampunk in the use of like the planes.
Because the planes are so prominent and just in the society.
Yeah.
And it makes the world feel a lot bigger because they can just travel so far.
Yeah.
But also, it's kind of this air of like mystery and adventure because we need planes to get to places. Because the world is kind of like ours, but not quite.
Yeah. Like it's like a city.
Yeah.
You can have just a city life, but also like around it is like a whole other world of adventures.
Yeah. So Jim Magon, said that in a 1990 promotional piece for Buena Vista Television, that the time and locale of the show, they both suggest the old movie serials of the 30s. So obviously something like Indiana Jones is much more modern, but Indiana Jones itself was meant to harken back to those old serials of the 30s and 40s. The Tales of the Golden Monkey, which was a show that aired around in the mid to late 80s. That was about an air cargo pilot going on all these crazy adventures. And specifically, the Megan references a 1930s adventure comic, Terry and the Pirates. All of these kind of lend the adventure to Talespin. Continuing, Megan would say that what appealed to them about that era, the 1930s, was the scale of things.
Yeah.
Today, technology is all about miniaturizing. But Megan points out that that isn't visually exciting. No. So instead, in the 1930s, anything powerful was really big, which is good for a cartoon show. And they also got the atmosphere of that time with the nightclubs, the Art Deco, and the old cars. Yeah. So I think it definitely gives the show an exciting feel, like Megan would say. Because I'm someone who likes things that are set in different time periods. It gives, whatever you're watching, this air of, I don't know, like, it's different. Yeah. In an exciting way. Because something that you don't know. Yeah. And it's familiar, but in this very distant way.
Yeah. I think that's like the thing about this specific universe. It's very familiar in the big city. Because you see like Shere Khan's building. It's huge. And that's very familiar, this like city life. And then you get like the planes and the blimps and like the sky pirates. And it's like a little kind of like a little fantasy element to it. That's very like fun.
Yeah, like it's our world, but not quite.
Yeah.
Minus the animals and junk.
Yeah.
It's taking that out of the equation. And I think, so obviously we'll see it throughout the episode, but I really like the element of flying. Like the use of planes themselves. How flying is this inherently adventurous and exciting thing. It's not like today. It's not just a means of transportation. Yeah. Like the whole show is based around planes and flying. Yeah. I think definitely it's one of the show's strengths. Quoting from the Talespin retrospective, that one of the strengths of Talespin was how it played into the romance of aviation.
Yes. All like, those shots of like the plane flying.
It looks so good.
Yeah, it's very good. Like, if they were to like do it and then not put in the effort in with those animations, like you would immediately be like, oh, like not as good of a show because you're not putting the effort. Yeah. Showing the fucking planes flying actually.
Yeah, no, the planes, like the movement of the planes is so well done. And also just the emotion that you get from when they take off and when they're flying is really, like, the music is great. It's all very well done. Yeah. That flying is shown as something very special in the show. We will see our main characters, Blue and Kit, speak about it passionately. Yeah. And it comes across as something they both love and something that the audience wants to love too. Yeah. And yeah, how it's just because we are fully immersed in this world, even though these planes, even in 1990 and especially now, these planes are old and clunky and way out of date. We never feel that way because we are immersed in the world of the show, where these planes are kind of this magical thing.
Yeah, they're modern. You know, yeah.
And yeah, I think all the action scenes with the planes are really well done and fun. Very fun. And I think with that, so in the production of Talespin, Megan and I believe it's Mark Zaslav, who also worked on as a showrunner, they took inspiration from Hayao Miyazaki's 1989 manga Hikote Jidai, about a pig-headed man who flies a seaplane and fights air pirates. 2 years later, 2 years after Tailspin premiered, Miyazaki would release an anime adaptation, which we would know as Porco Rosso.
Yes.
Which Zaslav felt took cues from Tailspin.
Oh. I still have not seen.
Fuck, it's such a good movie. It's short. It's like 90 minutes or some shit.
Yeah.
It's so much fun. It's set during it's set in Italy during the rise of fascism. So you have that fun historical backdrop. It's really good. It's like the show, like the movie. I'm sorry, the movie has this kind of somber feel to it because the war is starting soon, and it's this whole the it's the end of the era of aviation, basically, like, as they know it, because the war is starting soon, and they're slowly losing more of their freedoms as fascism rises in Italy. And so this is kind of somber mood to the movie, between all the gunfights and all the cool plane stuff.
I'll add it to my eternal list.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll see it throughout the show, but one of my favorite things about Tailspin is the diversity of the characters.
Yes.
And I'm including background characters. So before this, the closest thing to this show that we would have had similarly would be DuckTales. But DuckTales characters, we were limited to ducks, dogs who looked like humans with olive noses, pigs. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we had. That was our variety of animals. Where Tailspin has everything under the fucking sun.
Yeah.
All kinds of birds. We have walruses. We have dogs and cats and monkeys. We have monkeys.
Yeah.
Which, Jungle Book.
Yes.
Oh, because we have Louie and those little monkey guys that are like the chimps.
Yeah.
Which would not be in India, but an orangutan wouldn't be in India. So
I mean,
we're fine. So yeah, so Tailspin is a bit less in the animal diversity. It's a bit less like DuckTales and a bit more like Robin Hood, which is fun. I enjoy that, and I definitely think that is where the DuckTales reboot got its inspiration for its characters, because we've seen that DuckTales, its world is populated by more than just ducks, dogs that look humans with olive noses, and pigs.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of there's this variety of there's a variety of animal species in DuckTales, which in watching Tailspin, I can definitely see they got it from Tailspin.
Yeah.
Which is very fun.
Oh, love that. Love that for that.
Yeah. And I think with that, with all of my notes, all of my background info, we can get into the show itself.
Yeah.
Shall we begin with the theme song?
Yes. It's such a banger.
I love it so much. It is such a good theme song. The Tailspin theme song was, I believe, was created by Michael and Patty Silvershire. It's a very fun thing. It's this calypso kind of thing.
It has callback. It's very fun. You dance to it totally. I always do.
Yeah. And the episodes themselves were scored by Christopher Stone, who I think this and so far DuckTales have been the only shows with, or at least the ones that I've noticed, with like full orchestral music. I definitely think, I'm sorry DuckTales, Tailspin does it better. Like the first musical sting we get is just so fun. Yeah, no offense. Yeah, sorry DuckTales, but I think definitely Tailspin does a bit better in terms of the score.
Yeah,
I think it's a more modern show, and I think we'll see. I think it's definitely, I don't want to say it's more adult, but it is a more mature show than DuckTales.
It is. Yeah,
I think also because most of the characters are adults.
Yeah,
we only have 2 kid characters who will eventually meet. And the rest of the characters are adults, and there's plenty of episodes where Kid is not around.
Yeah.
And Molly even less. So I think it's interesting that the show, like the danger feels more real. The characters are almost all adults. I think that whereas obviously DuckTales, you have the nephews and Webby running around.
Yes. It really changes like the stakes of the episode sometimes.
Because DuckTales would be the nephews, or Scrooge and the nephews, or Scrooge with rarely Scrooge with Launchpad or then Scrooge with Fenton.
Yeah.
But mostly the kids.
Yeah.
I think, and not having that element, and I think because the world is so much more fleshed out, the show does feel a little more mature.
Yeah, for sure.
With that, I believe we can get into the episode proper. Hope you enjoyed the lore.
I know.
Plunder Lightning originally aired as a movie.
Okay.
It was a Talespin premiere movie. It aired, I'm not sure if the movie itself or just this first episode aired September 7th, 1990. It was directed by Larry Latham and Robert Taylor, written by Alan Burnett, Len Uly, and Mark Zaslav. This premiere was split into 4 parts for syndication, which resulted in severe cuts for time.
Yeah,
I believe for time. Episode 2 that had the most had an entire 2-minute song cut. We'll complain about that when we get there.
Yeah.
But the edits are really obvious.
Yeah.
It is like bizarre how choppy some of the editing is.
Yeah, it's very like bam. You're like, oh, yeah, jump scare.
Yeah, it's
really sharp.
It's really bizarre, like how they let this happen.
Yeah.
And I think in total like 5 minutes were removed.
Oh.
I found a very dedicated fan page that clocked like each moment something was edited.
Yeah.
And it'll be like just seconds shaved off of scenes, but in animation that is significant.
Oh yeah.
That is a character moving from one place to another. That is a line of dialogue. Yeah. Like, and
it's one thing that is cut for a good reason.
Is the racist line? Yeah. Some things. Yeah. Some
man, they cut it so weird. Like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so it's bizarre the editing. Besides the editing, like even with the choppy editing, the show itself is so good that it still carries it through. But yeah, the edits are obvious, and it's sad. I want to find the original movie because it was originally aired as the full movie. I want to watch that.
Yeah.
Where is it? Someone must have it.
No, yeah.
Someone please
let us know.
Please let us know. Upload it to Google Drive. Let me watch it like full and unspoiled. Yeah. Even with the racist line, it's fine. I'll make it through. Yeah. So we begin. Talespin episode 1.
Yes.
With a plane.
Yeah. God. We have first we get this beautiful shot of these mountains. And then comes in a plane piloted by what should be a familiar face.
Fucking Christ. Okay, before I complain about that, this is a corporate plane.
Yes.
It has a big SK on the side. We'll learn who that is in a second. Yeah. It's the prize tool that help us later. Not really a tool, it's the name. Just wanted to do my fake Mickey Mouse voice. Yeah, so it's a Bagheera imposter piloting this plane. And he's being pursued by 6 sky pirates. And he's being shot at.
It's like very just destroying this.
Yeah, we open Talespin with a firefight.
Yeah.
That is so fun. That is so 90s. I love it. Cartoons can't start with a firefight nowadays because we're lame. It is just funny like rewatching the DuckTales episode because the sky pirates are there, but they can't give their planes guns, and so there's not really a threat. They feel like less of a threat when they're in the air, especially if you've watched Talespin, where they're the biggest threat when they are in the air.
Yeah, they're sky pirates.
Yeah. So this plane is being shot at real bad. And I did not look up the names of these planes because
yeah.
I do like how the Sky Pirates planes are like little bombers. They're very small but very quick.
Yeah.
And we see one of the Sky Pirates. I'll learn their names later.
Yeah.
The names will be important in later episodes. But I do like how distinct they all look.
Yeah.
These are not Beagle Boy clones. Each Sky Pirate has this very distinct look and a very distinct voice. The skinny one has the funniest voice on earth.
Yes.
Fucking funny. I don't know what they were going for, but it's wild.
Oh my god.
Funny voice one.
Yes.
Has a harpoon gun that he fires at the wing of the plane. They are raiding.
Yes.
A bunch of the pirates do. They're basically
like connect to the wing so they're able to board the plane.
yes.
That's like the engines are burning of the plane.
He's been shot at real bad. And we see that the lead plane, a black and red plane, pulls up above the Bagheera imposter's plane.
Yes.
And down jumps Carnage.
Don Carnage. Oh my god.
Greetings and salivations, fellow aviator. It is I, that panic-provoking pirate, Don Carnage.
Yeah, they pry the roof of the plane open with crowbars. And Don Carnage jumps down.
Very dramatically, with a lot of flair.
Yes, this is... I didn't really like Don Carnage when I first started watching Talespin.
Yeah.
Just, what do you think? I like him now.
I think I liked his design, but I was kind of meh about the voice. Like, the way he talks.
Yes.
I still miss Jaime Camille,
of course,
to be honest.
No one can beat Jaime Camille's Don Carnage. Yeah. Like, I swear. I was thinking about Dan Carnage. Yeah, that dastardly Don Carnage. No relation.
Oh, those pirates were thorough. Not even a coin left in the seat cushions.
Oh, thank goodness you have found me.
Yeah, where'd you come from? Way to be a lookout, Dewey.
I am Dr. Tom Carnage. An attractive and charming plant scientist.
You mean a botanist?
You dare correct the fierce captain of the plant sciencing committee? That dashing scoundrel Don Carnage, no relation, stole my vital plant research. You must take me to his ship and get back what is mine for the good of plantology.
Excuse us just a moment. We all know that's Don Carnage, right?
But yeah, no, I like this Don Carnage a lot.
Yeah, so Don Carnage is voiced by Jim Cummings. So his accent, according to Jim Cummings, has been described as a little Spanish, a little French, a little Ricky Ricardo.
I mean, yeah.
It is all over this. It is all over the place.
It is.
And apparently Jim Cummings actually improvised a lot of his dialogue. They would give him a script. According to a making of documentary of the show, they'd give him a script, and he'd kind of mark it up with his own lines. Yeah. Which is interesting. Like, obviously, Jim Cummings is a very talented voice actor he voices a ton of iconic characters. It's crazy. And part of Carnage's dialogue is like his scrambled up metaphors. Yeah. Which do make me laugh sometimes.
No, yeah.
Yeah. He is a very vivid character. He's very memorable. So we see I'm not sure if he's a wolf or a coyote.
I would say no, a coyote more than a wolf.
So I was thinking he looks a little too scraggly.
Yeah. Sure.
So he's a brown coyote and or wolf, up to you.
Yell at us if you know what he is.
Yeah, I know he's a wolf in the new one.
Yeah.
I don't know about this one. Anyway, and he's wearing like a piratey kind of jacket. Yeah. I love it. It's very dark blue with red sleeves and like coattails.
Yeah, these like big buttons.
Yeah. He has very sharp teeth.
Yes, very sharp, which they like show like to the
like his teeth are permanently sharp, which is fun. Like he's very menacing. It's a very good look, and sword.
Yes.
I don't mind that they don't have guns. I think I was thinking about it. I'm like, should they have guns? But I don't mind that they don't. Yeah. I think the other Sky Pirates have like blunderbusses.
Yeah.
But no one has pistols or anything. None of these guys do. And I don't
like that he has a sword.
Yes. Yeah. They're like, no, we're pirates. We don't use fucking swords. Yeah. The planes have guns.
Yes.
To bring other planes down. But I don't mind that they don't. So yeah. So Carnage jumps down. He's like, yo, what's up? I'm stealing your plane. Congrats. You're being robbed by Don Carnage.
You're so fortunate.
Yes. Our Bagheera imposter tries to radio for help.
Yeah. He's flight 127 and then the cord gets cut.
Okay, so Bagheera imposter. He looks great.
Yeah.
We see in future episodes, he's wearing a uniform. So damn, spoilers. What's he gonna say right now? He works for Shere Khan.
Yes.
Because Shere Khan in this world is a business mogul.
Yes. No, yeah.
He owns everything. He's like, I don't know if he's the richest man in the world in the show, but he is up there.
He has like the biggest, at least the biggest like business, like corporation.
He basically owns Cape Suzette.
Yeah.
We'll learn in later episodes. We don't see him in this episode, which I don't mind.
Yeah, it's a good setup.
Yeah, we meet about half of our cast in this episode, and then we meet the other half in the next episode, which I think is good.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, so Bagheera imposter. Bagheera is not in Talespin.
No,
He's not.
I hate it.
And I'm reminded of that fact every time I rewatch the first episode because we get this fucking imposter.
Yeah.
And I know he's an imposter because there are a lot of the Shere Khan pilots look like him.
Yeah, the clone.
A lot, they're just like kind of clone. Almost all of Shere Khan's employees are cats, and so a lot of them will just be Black Panthers.
Yeah.
Or they'll be lions or other stuff. But a lot of them are just Black Panthers.
But they're not.
Bagheera, as far as I know. And yeah, Bagheera is never featured in Talespin. The only Talespin characters are Baloo, Louie, and Shere Khan, plus the monkeys that are in Louie's palace and now serve as waiters.
Yes. No,
in Louie's place. It's because they were afraid of Baloo and Bagheera's gay energy.
It very much is. I don't know how to tell you this, guys. If you haven't noticed, they co-parented a child.
The line! You wouldn't marry a panther, would you? I don't know. No panther has ever asked.
Baloo, birds of a feather should flock together. You wouldn't marry a panther, would you?
I don't know. Come to think of it, no panther ever asked me.
Who greenlit that? Who knew? Who was behind the scenes of Disney? Who snuck that past Walt? Who did it? Who can we thank?
We'll never know this hero.
I know. We'll never know this unspoken hero. It's incredible.
But because of that line, Bagheera cannot make it.
Because of that line. Powerful gay energy. There's too much for Disney in the 1990s. I'm forever bummed we don't get Bagheera.
I remember you telling me about this show because I'm the noob. And I was like, oh, it's Bagheera? And you're like, no. I'm like,
fucking sucks. Garbage show. Stop listening.
But no. Yeah.
No. Whatever. So Carnage cuts the cord before Bagheera imposter can call for help.
Mm-hmm. And then the Bagheera imposter gets like a wrench. And he's, gonna defend himself.
Defend his plane.
Yeah, and he says that Shere Khan owns the plane. And that's when we find out.
Yeah. That, and just this kind of implicit thing of, you're robbing a Shere Khan's plane. Do you know who owns this plane?
You're gonna be fucked.
Yes, yeah. Carnage is not phased because behind him is pirates pull guns on the pilots. They have blunderbusses, which is fun.
That's very fun.
And we see that he is here for one specific item, Carnage. It is a box.
Yes. And it's just a little...
It's fancy, though.
Yeah, it's a little fancy, mini treasure chest.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
And Carnage is awesome. They get it, they leave. And I think they shoot the plane down some more. They shoot the plane down.
Because what blows up must come down.
We see they leave, and we see the Bagheera imposter's we see him, oh shit, he's like, am I good? Am I safe? And they're like, no! Blow up his plane. But he does survive.
Yeah, so we see...
Yeah, but his plane explodes off screen. It crashes into a mountain. And we see that pirates go back to the Iron Vulture, which I'm obsessed with. We don't see it in full this episode, which is fun, which is exciting.
Yeah.
But it's their airship. It's a massive fucking thing.
I just love the name of all the ships that we're going to see.
They're so fun. They have a lot of bird names.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah. Planes. So we go onto the bridge of the Iron Vulture. There's a lot of this. It has very large kind of almost portholes, but massive windows, kind of lining the sides of it. It reminds me a bit of the Nautilus that used to be in Disneyland.
Yeah,
kind of submarine type vibe. Even though because it's a lot of metal, it's all metal.
Yeah,
but it is an airship. I love this. It's like Carnage. He tosses all this shit off his desk, like we're in a 3D movie. It's gonna fly at the audience, like inkwells and paper and shit. It makes me laugh.
He very dramatically. He doesn't like slam it. He kind of like brings it down very intensely.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is the key to my future, like
To riches.
to riches.
But not really saying is not really elaborating if this is if this itself is the treasure or what it is.
Yeah.
How this it's a very small chest.
Yeah. So it's like, is there something inside? Is it gonna lead to something else? Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's a key to riches.
Yes, he's being very vaguely about it to his men.
Yes.
I don't think we say how silly Don Carnage is.
Oh, it like
So silly.
dramatic with an air of a theater kid. Like,
Yeah.
you don't understand that.
He's gonna have a musical number
Yes.
in part 3 or 4.
Yeah.
He has a musical number, so
Exactly.
that is the vibe we're going with here, folks. He's scary, but he's dumb and
Yeah.
silly, but also scary. It is a
Yeah.
fun balance.
It's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like DuckTales 2017, it's more on the theater energy.
Yes.
Here he is more of like a threat.
Yeah.
But he still has a very like silly energy to him.
Yes. Yeah.
To not spook the children who may be watching.
Yeah. But we see it with the vent above him.
Mhm.
That the camera is panning to, and we see someone is looking down from above.
Yeah. And as Don Carnage is like twirling, saying that he's gonna be the most wealthy person in the world, someone drops from that
The vent.
the vent.
And as Carnage is saying that whatever's in this chest will make him the richest man in the world.
Mhm.
And a bear cub
Yeah.
jumps down, and he's like, "For me, you shouldn't have."
At last, the key to my future! Riches, my man. Riches beyond your limited, insignificant dreams. But not beyond mine. For soon, I, Don Carnage, shall be the wealthiest man in the world.
For me? Oh, you shouldn't have.
Well, it was nothing really. Stop that boy!
And so this bear cub is, how old do we say he is? I'm never really quite sure. I would say between 10 and 12.
I would think 12.
That's what I'm thinking, because he is. So this is Cloud Kick.
Yes.
We will learn his name in a bit. He wears a kind of patched green sweater and a red bandana,
Yes.
and he's kind of scruffy looking.
Yeah. It's a little brown bear.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite of the Disney Afternoon characters because he is like really world savvy and smart, and he's very resourceful. He steals Don Carnage's this chest from Don Carnage in a second and bolts with it.
Oh yeah, immediately.
And so this kid is here, and in watching the show, you don't really know what this kid is doing here.
No, yeah.
Or how he got here and what his relationship is to the pirates, but no one seems surprised to see him. Only that he's stealing from Carnage.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that later. We see he tricks another pirate to crash into Carnage. I do remember this one's name. His name is Dump Truck. He is Scandinavian of some kind.
Oh.
He's the only whose name I remember, because they do say his name later, and it just stuck in my head. We see that Kit is, he's extremely resourceful and very fast. He evades them by sliding down the railing of the stairs. He swings on a rope to get down.
And you get like just how big this
this is a cavernous kind of ship.
Yeah, because it's just
they're racing through hallways and downstairs. Because it's not fully established that we're in the sky. It seems like we're in a building because it's so big.
Yeah.
But we see that Kit runs to where there's a wall of guns, but also a harpoon gun.
Yes.
And he grabs that one.
So like, of course.
He gets an escape plan.
Yeah.
Which I think is very, very fun.
Yeah.
And we see he runs to what we see are the open hatch of the Iron Vulture. And again, we don't see the full Iron Vulture, but we do see enough that we are in the sky.
Yeah.
This thing is miles up.
We just see, like you can't see any ground. It's just clouds. Yeah. And he immediately is like fuck, like shit.
He does like stop. We see this was part of his plan to jump out, but he does kind of hesitate seeing that drop. Which and we do see just the kind of the open beak of the Iron Vulture. Yeah. And how small Kit is on it. And so Kit is cornered as far as Carnage knows.
Yeah.
And as he says, Kid has gotten himself into a tiny piccolo. But Kid's like, yeah, fuck you, and jumps off the plane,
Yeah.
airship.
Straight up
I'm
just
just gonna
jumps.
have them all swear. Kid would swear.
He
Kid
would.
would swear. He's been around pirates.
They all swear. We know that.
Yeah. He just jumps.
Yeah.
And Crash is like, oh, fuck. Because he wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, like you can see, like obviously Don Carnage more worried about his treasure, but like,
Yeah.
oh my god, the fuck.
Well, my reckless reptile, perhaps it is none of my business, but you've gotten yourself in a tiny piccolo, yes, no?
You know, you're right. It is none of your business.
And immediately he's like, go after
Yeah,
this.
he's whacking the other pirates with him, like, oh my god, move. Go get him. Go search the ground to see where he landed. Meanwhile, we see Kit removes the red bandana.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be important later. Let's it go flying up above him, and he is not scared.
No.
He is cool as a cucumber because he is the coolest kid on earth.
I literally wrote down, this kid is just so rad.
Like, I do like, yeah, he's not scared at all. And you see that he pulls out off his back. I think we'll learn in like later episodes. I'm not sure if they say. I know they don't say in this episode.
No.
In maybe the next couple ones, an airfoil.
Yeah.
Basically, this metal kind of fan that kind of opens up and lets him glide down. Kind of. What's the word? The surfing thing.
Oh, like
Jet ski?
oh, that's the thing. Oh god.
Water
Wake-
skiing.
Oh, okay, wait. Yeah, water skiing. Ooh.
Yeah, so Kit's airfoil defies every law of physics.
Oh yeah.
But who cares? Because it looks super
It's
cool.
amazing.
I think I'm not sure if were like the X game things cool at the time.
Probably.
Like skateboarding. It's not quite on that level.
Yeah.
Since it's never, it's in the air. Like it's something you can only do in the air. And I don't care. Like, I showed this to one of my old roommates, and she was like, that is impossible. I'm like, girl, this is a little bear. Like,
Bear.
a little just jumped out of a plane. He's wearing a sweater. Give him a break. But yes, this is the airfoil.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's insane. It's such a distinct thing.
Yeah.
I just love how immediately kind of iconic it is. He's catching like the breeze. Like he's kind of just
Yeah, he's like just doing this with ease. Like
like just drifting down.
Yeah.
Very cool. But we see his plan was to hook with the grappling hook gun was to hook onto a passing plane and kind of get out of there.
Yeah. Smart.
Yes. And we see I love this. This is a trucker. This is a trucker pilot. So funny. He's wearing like the hat with the like the ear. What is it fucking called? Those fuzzy hats. And he's in plaid and a vest. He's a trucker. He's on the radio saying "breaker, breaker."
Yeah.
It's so funny. He has a big mustache, and we see that the pilot's trucker does notice someone hooking onto his. Like, he hears the hook attaching to his plane.
Yeah.
Not much he can do about it while he's flying in the air, and Kid is having the time of his life.
Yeah. Just gliding up there.
Yeah. And now it's time to meet our other main character.
Ooh.
We pan down to, or we see this island, like this tropical island,
Mhm.
this very small island in the middle of the ocean,
Yeah.
and zoom in to a bar.
Yeah, it's kind of like a very much a truck stop where they have like kind of a lot of
Fancier
Yeah,
than
no, yeah, for sure.
it's like it's a bar. It's like a bar lounge
Mhm.
rest stop.
Yeah, it's a rest stop.
Yes, and oh no, fuck, Tarzan wasn't out yet. I'm getting like Tarzan Treehouse vibe, but Tarzan didn't exist yet. Oh, anyway, it's Louis' place.
Yes.
It's a tiki inspired
Mhm.
bar, kind of built around the base of this massive tree.
Yeah.
And also we'll see, and I love like it looks like it's built out of ship parts,
Yeah.
like old wooden ship parts. We have this whole island and like this kind of pile of like mountain rocks at the top where
Yeah.
there's a big neon sign for
Mhm,
Louis'
for
place at the
Louis'.
very top too, so planes can see that. So that's very fun. Part of the bar looks like it was made from part of a old ship, which is actually relevant in a later episode. That the bar was made partly out of the parts of an old ship.
Yeah.
An old haunted ship.
Ooh.
And we see inside, it's the tiki room. All over the place.
Very fun. They're serving ice cream.
Yeah, instead of alcohol, they are serving ice cream. They serve alcohol, we know.
Yeah.
Off screen. And we see the monkey servers, as I mentioned, as our waiters. And in later episodes, we see that they also have like a gas refill kind of service, which are also run by the monkeys, which is fun. They do it all. And we get this quick pan over the clientele.
Yeah.
All kinds of animals.
Yeah. And then we get pan to the man of the hour.
Man of the hour.
Chilling at the bar with Louis.
Yes. Yeah, so we have Louis, who is obviously the owner of Louis' place. And he's in a Hawaiian shirt. Yeah. This is very fun. And he's, as said, he is standing with Baloo.
Yeah.
Because Louis is just like his best bud.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like middle of the day, just hanging out at the bar.
Yeah. Distracting Louis, who's like, I'm kind of tired of this place, man.
Yeah, he just gets so busy.
Yeah.
Like, and so Baloo is here. This is a different Baloo from our Jungle Book Baloo.
Yeah. Well, first of all, he's wearing clothes.
Sort of. He's wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
He's got a shirt and a pilot's hat.
Yeah.
Baloo is voiced in this series by Ed Gilbert. Because the original voice was Phil Harris, who voiced him in the 1967 movie. And he was originally hired to reprise the role.
Okay.
But he was 85
yeah.
at the time, and he kind of lost he couldn't quite do the voice. He had to be chauffeured from his house in Palm Springs, which is like a 4-hour drive or some shit.
Yeah.
And so they decided not to go with him and to hire Ed Gilbert instead.
Okay.
Do you want sad facts about Ed Gilbert or nah?
Sure.
Well, just that Ed Gilbert passed away.
Oh, okay.
In 1999. 9 years after Talespin premiered.
Oh, wow.
And he does have a kind of a different. He does do a different Baloo, which I think is fair because the show is a very different show. It is a different Baloo. Right away in his introduction to Baloo, as like right away we learn that he likes just to relax. He's someone who does not take responsibility seriously, while kind of Louis kind of drowning in stress from how busy his job is.
Yeah, and Baloo's kind of like, have you ever thought about just chilling?
Yeah, chilling. Let me sing you a song so that you understand the importance of chillaxing.
And it's very fun.
Yeah, and we get our first musical number.
Yeah.
Because Baloo, if there's one thing Baloo is good at, it's singing a song.
Yes.
About relaxing.
Yes.
And I think he does do kind of the original movie Baloo dance moves at the start.
Yeah.
That's familiar.
I did write Bare Necessities 2.0.
Yes, a little bit. Because we do get this very fun... I don't know how to describe music.
Oh, it's... I already forgot. I lost the tune.
I'll see you later, navigator. Y'all know what to do. I'm gone.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Not as, like, swingy as the original is.
No.
It's more, like, doo-woppy.
Yes.
Oh, man, Baloo. Sometimes running this place is like working in a zoo.
Hey, Louie, you gotta learn my secret to relaxation.
Oh, and what's that, cuz?
He gets all into it. And, like, he's got background singers. He gets a tablecloth off a table to be a dress, because I love Baloo's just unapologetic cross-dressing. Like, he's like, I need a dress. I need, like, Carmen Miranda. And everyone's into it. Like, the bar's into it.
Yeah.
And Louis is kind of listening. He's chillaxing. He's joining him in the song. The patrons are, like, nodding along.
A drink in a show.
Yes, no, yeah, everyone's loving it. And wow, I do like the song a lot. It gets stuck in my head whenever I watch the episode. And as he's singing, we see that our pilot trucker, we didn't mention the pilot trucker called Louis' place.
Yeah.
Like he radioed to Louis' place to just check in.
Yeah,
because
the party had started yet.
Yes, because I didn't mention that Louis' place is a pilot bar specifically. That's its purpose, being an island in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
it's meant to be like a truck stop, but for pilots, because most pilots transport cargo.
Yeah.
They gotta transport it across oceans. So
They got it all here.
yes, yeah. So our trucker pilot is coming into Louis' place, kind of coming in hot,
Yeah.
and Kit is still hanging on to the end.
Mm-hmm.
He's still having fun, but he kind of maybe misjudged his timing. Because he lets go of pilot trucker's plane, he lets go of the harpoon gun, and it's kind of skimming on the waves.
Yeah, so he probably let go like too close.
I think he let go too late.
Yeah, because he still has a lot of
Momentum.
speed. Yeah, momentum.
Yeah, he can't slow down before he crashes through the doors of Louis'
Yeah.
place. And it is a fun, like, because we're seeing him, kind of fly in and crash while Baloo's still singing.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
At this point, Baloo has maracas now, and he's with the band.
He's on the stage, like everyone's into it. And then Kit crashes through like every single table, and then crashes directly into Baloo.
Maximum destruction.
But Baloo's not mad about it.
Oh, he's gonna like, who's this?
Yeah, he's like, whoa, what's going on here? Like, clearly, like this kid just kind of by accident ran into him.
And like the trucker pilot comes in, obviously mad. At this half pint hitchhiker. He's like, what the fuck, dude?
And he gets right. He tries to get right up in Kit's face, but Baloo beats him there. Right away we see, I don't know, like Baloo's kind of standing.
Yeah.
In his world, he is respected and maybe a little bit feared.
Yeah. Because immediately, like, the guy is like, oh, like, I didn't know he was, like, a friend of yours. Like, oh, like, no hard feelings. He's like, we're good.
Any friend of Baloo's.
Yeah.
And I do, as Baloo's defending him, Kid is like, yeah, listen to the fat lady. Baloo's like,
lady?
Yeah. It's like, I'm fat, I'm not a lady.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun.
Well, what have we here?
Come here, you half-pint hitchhiker!
Oh, cut the kid some slack, Jack.
Yeah, listen to the fat lady.
Lady?
Whatever.
Didn't know he was a pal of yours, Baloo. No hard feelings, okay? Nice kid.
It's, I really like this moment. You see how, because we've seen, obviously, we're introduced to Baloo immediately just breaking out into song. But we see that he's respected by the other pilots. Like right away. Like they don't mess with anybody he's friends with.
Yeah.
And so we get so Baloo kind of just like once trucker guy leaves, we see Baloo kind of wanting to know what's up with this kid.
Yeah, like he takes up the fruit and he's like
he's like that was an entrance, and he calls them Little Britches, which if you watch Jungle Book, you'll know that is what Baloo calls Mowgli,
his original son.
Who the kid who he straight up says he wants to adopt and raise.
Yeah. I need to watch that movie again.
It's good. Like that shit is good. And Baloo is so good in that movie.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And immediately Kit notices that Baloo's a pilot.
Yeah.
And he's like, Baloo's like, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Kit's like, well, are you any good? Baloo's like, yeah, he's the best.
Yeah.
But he's chill about it.
Yeah.
Which is fun.
He's like, obviously, number one.
Yeah. And we do have Kit kind of reaching out, like, like telling him that he wants to be a pilot one day too. And Baloo's like, kind of like not quite humoring him a little bit because he's like 12. But he's like, I'm sure you will.
Yeah.
And he sees the very fancy box that Kit's carrying, and he's like, what's
the luggage?
He doesn't really ask. He doesn't ask even what it is. He's like, he comments, nice luggage.
Yeah.
Because it's a fancy box that he's carrying.
And immediately Kit's like on the defensive.
Like,
that's mine. Like, puts it close, and like Blue's like, okay, like easy. Like I was just looking at it.
Yeah. And so he leaves. He's like, yeah, all right, I'll leave you alone. And we see Kit right away kind of realizes that him kind of lashing out cost him maybe a friend, like someone who is nice.
Well, I'm gonna be a pilot someday.
Yeah, bet you will be too. Hey, nice luggage.
Hands off, it's mine.
Easy, kid. I'm just admiring. Well, see you in the funny papers.
Look, I didn't... Oh, forget it.
Which I immediately like their just like nice rapport. Like
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's Ed Gilbert does a really good job with Blue, making him feel making the voice feel really natural.
Yeah.
And just really charismatic. Like, right away,
Yeah.
really good job. Like, you believe, like, their interaction.
Yeah,
Just-
yeah.
just Blue being really chill about it. And this is, I think, where cause this next scene is, I think, where the editing
Oh
is
yeah.
the most extreme, like, in the cuts.
Is it the violence?
Right? Because, so, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna see. Right
So, we see the bar is a little more chill. When when Don Carnage bursts in.
Yeah.
I do like when he shows up, he's like half in shadow.
Like you can't see his face.
Yeah. So that's fun. But he's there with several of his pirates behind him. He bursts right in, he's looking for Kit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And immediately Louis like goes towards him like
Get out of
get
here.
out.
Yeah. And then here's we get the cut.
Yeah.
Like we have Louis in frame, and then smash cut. Carnage is holding him at sword point.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Oh no.
One got cut because
Yeah.
they're still shooting him, threatening him with the sword.
Yeah, like I mean, they must have cut however whatever second of Don Carnage
drawing
his sword. But it is a very. Whenever I watch it, I'm like, whoa! Did I pass out? Like, did I have a stroke?
Like,
What just happened?
Yeah, like did Louis walk for a little too long? What?
Yeah. So Carnage is threatening to destroy the bar if they don't turn over
this boy.
Yeah. Who stole something from him. And we see Kit has kind of sneakily climbed up to the second landing.
Yeah.
Where there's a tiki mask.
Yes.
And he hides the box in there, inside the mask. I do like we get this threatening, like one of Carnage's pirates shoots a hole in the roof because it's like the bamboo walls.
Yeah.
So it leaves a really big hole in the roof. Like they will dismantle this place. And we see outside, Blue is not aware of any of this happening. He bounced, and then the pirate showed up 2 seconds later.
Yeah.
He is walking to his plane. A very big yellow and orange plane.
Yes.
It looks very cool.
Yeah.
I really like the plane. It's a seaplane, like most of the planes are.
And he's singing, he's talking to the plane.
He kisses the door.
Yes.
He loves the plane.
Yes.
He talks to the plane.
That's his baby.
Yes.
Doobie 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 doo. Miss me, baby.
So he gets in the plane. He's getting ready to go. Back inside.
We see more threats from Don Carnage.
Yeah.
That, they have not provided the boy.
Yeah.
He's pissed.
Yeah. I do like this moment. He smashes this table, and he orders the pirates to tear the place apart.
Yes.
But when he smashes the table, a piece of wood gets stuck to his sword.
Yeah.
And so he has to yank it off. And it's a really good animation. It just looks real nice.
Yeah.
That wasn't necessary.
No.
But they just put that extra little effort in. And it's very, I don't know, it's a very cool, I don't know, it looks...
It's very natural, like
Yeah.
very, yeah.
The animation is so smooth, the movement just looks real natural. But before Carnage can do any more damage to the bar, Kid reveals himself
Yeah.
to protect the patrons, which is, he's a good boy.
Yeah, I'm like, aw.
You have made Don Carnage, which is me, very unhappy. Boys, tear the place asunder.
Don't bother. I was just on my way out.
Immediately, as they go up the stairs to chase him, he throws down a barrel.
Yeah. And Kid's like, well, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
He swings on a rope and barely avoids Carnage swinging at him with a fucking sword and jumps out through the bamboo wall. He like just burst right through. It's very fun. I want to like jump through it too.
God. So delicate, paper thin.
Yeah, it's fun because it's like it's that like tiki wall, like the thin bamboo walls.
Yes.
Because clearly wherever they are, it's very tropical, so they don't need to worry about like snow or whatever, like cold weather. And we see outside, Blue is he's taking off.
Yeah.
And Kit races down the dock where the plane was, and jumps onto like the wing, barehanded, like bear. He's a bear. Intentional. I'm so proud of myself. And we have Baloo's like leaning back in his seat, like totally chill. Kid has somehow managed to get to the kind of passenger side door of the plane. He is clinging for dear life. And Baloo's like, "Oh hey, don't you want to come inside?"
He like doesn't get up. He's kind of like,
No.
"Do you want to go somewhere? Do you
Like
need a
he's
lift?"
not surprised. He's not like, "Oh my god, there is a kid clinging to the side of my plane." He's like,
Oh.
he's acting like the kid just walked up to him like on like a Sunday morning. Like his reaction is so funny. He's so chill.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh, do you need a lift?"
Yeah.
He is sliding down the glass.
Barely making it. Oh my god.
Yeah, like, did he have to land? Like, did he just roll down the window?
He probably just rolled down the window.
Because next scene, kid is in the plane.
Yeah.
So Baloo doesn't know about the pirates. He's like,
no.
"Oh, the kid just needed a ride."
Yeah.
And we see that Kit is really impressed with the plane.
Yeah, like he knows the model that it is. It's a Conwing L16.
Yes, we see, and this is our first introduction to Kit as a plane nerd. Plane nerd. There we go. And Baloo's impressed that he knows what kind of plane it is. And the plane, which is called the Sea Duck.
Yes.
It's a fun name. I like that.
Yeah.
And we see that Baloo's very proud of his plane, obviously. He customized her himself.
Yeah.
We see that he elbows the wall and two like Fantas drop down. Like, yes, I'm sure there's like some sort of chilling thing in it that keeps them cool.
Amazing.
And so he pulls down two sodas and hands them to Kit. He's so effortlessly cool.
Cool guy.
And we see, so he and Kit just kind of bond over planes.
Yes.
Like Kit notices that like how the plane is extra customized, not just the sodas.
Yeah.
But the engines are Superfly 100s.
He has a real interest in planes.
Yeah. And Baloo finally asks what his name is.
And his name is Kit Cloudkicker.
Yeah. Okay. And they share sodas.
Yeah.
He gives him one. And Kit is talking about how he's gonna buy a plane one day.
And Baloo just kind of like, knowing the price of a plane.
Yes.
Ooh, like I hope you have rich parents, kid.
And Kit very effortlessly admits to like having no parents. And how his life sucks.
Yeah.
It's good. He's like, I don't have folks, but he's gonna be rich. And soon.
Yes.
I'm gonna buy a plane one day.
I hope your folks are rich.
I don't have any folks, but I'm gonna be rich. And real soon, too.
Well, if you're gonna get a plane, you better know how to fly it.
And Baloo doesn't really like question it. He's probably like, oh, it's just a kid, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're gonna have a plane soon, you're gonna have to know how to fly it.
Yeah. And he lets Kit fly the Sea Duck.
Yeah.
Which is so cute. It's great. And so obviously the plane has the co-pilot and the pilot seat, and so he lets Kit pilot it.
Yeah. He's very excited.
Yeah. And I think he does a pretty good job.
Yeah.
For the 2 seconds before the pirates show up.
God.
And we do get some fun little, I guess, world building, because Kit's doing a pretty good job. And Baloo compliments him. But Kit's like, yeah, but I can't get a pilot's license for, I'd say 5 more years.
Yeah.
So I think he is like 12. Probably get a pilot's license around like 17.
Yeah.
And they're starting to fly through some clouds when gunfire.
Like Baloo is just having a chill day. He's giving her like a kid. He's giving him a ride, and then bam, like he's getting shot at.
Yeah. And Baloo immediately knows pirates.
What was that?
Back on the corner where I hang out, we call that pirates.
So he gets into like action mode.
Yes, it's so fun. They've kind of flown into a storm.
Yeah.
So there's lightning, the clouds look scary. And we see Carnage is like, Carnage looks scary. Like they really kind of accentuate his teeth, like his lips pull back a lot from his gums.
Yeah. To just show you how angry he is, because that child torn into pieces.
Well, no, he's playing a part, but he wants the kid.
Yes.
And I just like watching these plane scenes with no sound, they look cool. I didn't notice like the planes getting hit by rain, like they're spinning all around, and we see Baloo is avoiding the pirates, and he's be like, "Why are they after me? I don't have anything." And Kit's like, "Sure they do." And I didn't mention we get a little bit more of Kit's backstory tease because he has no parents. He's an orphan.
Yeah.
But he was somehow involved with the pirates. Trees. Yeah, we are getting bullets like going through the sea duck. Like I love it. It's intense. It's cool. And we see that Baloo flies straight at the pirates. They have to all scatter to avoid the plane.
Yeah. And I love the shot of it turning because you get like what I call like the light rays, the god rays.
Yeah.
The storm clouds. I'm just like, damn.
You know, they went hard on these like plane scenes, and I'm glad they did because we got lots of planes, a lot of flying around. So these scenes they look cool, and they do.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, 1990. That was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
These scenes hold up. Like they're still very exciting. I'm sure with all the cuts and stuff, at least these scenes were maintained enough that they still flow. Baloo is trying to shake the pirates. And we see now he is flying straight down towards the ocean.
Yeah.
I love this whole sequence is probably my favorite of the plane flying scenes in this episode. He's flying straight down towards the water.
Yeah.
And Kit tries to get him to pull up sooner.
Yeah. Because they're gonna like be in the water real soon.
Yeah, and we see but Baloo does something that like kind of moves some flaps on his plane, so he managed to skim the water.
Yeah.
And fly back up, whereas the other pirates smash straight down into the water.
Peace.
Yeah. And Kid is just amazed because no one can fly like that.
That's like extremely technical. He's super impressed by Baloo.
No one can fly like that!
Great pilot. Great plane.
I'll say. Well, so what's next?
A quick exit.
It is a fun dichotomy with again, like the very chill, breaking into song Baloo, where we see what is a very competent pilot, which is very fun. It's a fun dichotomy. Like he's lazy and a slob and a loser,
but he's super good at what he does.
He's very good at what he does. And he's not dumb.
No,
but he is someone who just doesn't.
He doesn't put like
effort into like the other aspects of his life because he loves the freedom and adventure of flying.
Yeah,
and that's kind of all he wants to do. So he's really good at that.
Yeah.
So Baloo wants to get away from the pirates. But Kid is like, well, like why bother? Like you can fly rings around them.
Yeah.
But Baloo doesn't have to.
Because they're coming up on Cape Suzette.
And I didn't realize it before, but I rewatching it for the recap. This made me realize that Kit must not be from Cape Suzette.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know about the Cape Suzette cliff guns.
He's like, he just does not know about the cannons, and he does not know just how big Cape Suzette is.
Yes, yeah. This coming up is my favorite scene in this episode, but also one of my favorite scenes in the whole premiere. God, I just love. I don't know, like the kind of implied world building of the scene. I don't know, the vibe. I love it. So we see they're coming up on this, what looks basically like a wall, like a mountain range, basically coming out of the water, but specifically it's these cliffs that kind of come together into this narrow divide.
Yeah. And we see that there are like blasts of fire and smoke coming from that. And Baloo's like, like that's the Cape Suzette cannons. And that means that like we're basically good. Like we don't
we're safe.
Deal. Yeah.
It's this we see so we're introduced to this like this defense force that keeps pirates out of the city.
Yeah.
It's so fun, and because they're sky pirates, they're in the air. There are these cliff guns that they use to shoot down the pirates' planes. And they do very expertly.
Yeah. And we see like Don Carnage, like his point of view of how much he hates them because he can't get past them and they always defeat him.
Yes, yeah. Although there must be some sort of like because we see in later episodes there's a whole crew manning these cliff guns. Yeah. So there must be a way to like radio. It must radio planes. There must be some sort of code.
Yeah.
Or something that you have to give so they don't shoot you down.
For sure.
which is fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we see, the sea duck flies right over the downed pirates.
Yeah.
And we get closer because we see that the kind of the divide that's between it's like a solid wall of rock.
Yeah.
And then this narrow cliff, which is how you get through to Cape Suzette.
Mm-hmm.
And I love this shot because we see Blue flies through in the sea duck, and we see from above, like the top of these cliffs of these mountains, and there are farms and houses and roads.
Just
it's this like
greenery, like because
Yeah.
there are these like white like cliffs.
Yes.
But when you see them from above, it's just green and like all very colorful.
There's also like buildings built into the cliff walls.
Yeah.
That just looks so cool, and it's just this kind of glimpse, this small glimpse into like a larger world that we're stepping into with Kit.
Yeah.
And it just looks so cool. This is my favorite shot.
Yeah.
I love it because we see this plane flying through this very green, very kind of beautiful look into like the outskirts of Cape Suzette.
Yeah.
And then we exit the cliffs and we come into and we see Cape Suzette herself.
Yeah.
This like seaside kind of tropical-ish kind of city.
Yeah. Because we see that like it's surrounding it, there's more like green hills around it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's these like high-rise buildings everywhere.
And again, it's that Art Deco look where everything. This is the coolest looking city.
Oh, yeah.
I am, especially after the Toontown Duckburg that we got. The city is extremely different, much more real and realized.
Yeah.
I love it. It looks so cool. It supposedly calls to mind like Sydney and Hong Kong. Apparently, these like sprawling cities right on the edge of the ocean. Very cool. I love it. Like, and the fact that it's kind of just surrounded by cliffs.
Yeah, because
it's very cool.
That. Yeah, it's like a very like it's a huge city, but there's like nature is just right there.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
And Baloo does take Kit like on kind of like a tour of Cape Suzette because this world is kind of steampunk-y, sort of.
Yeah.
So planes are like the transportation. Planes can just travel through the city.
Yeah.
And we see he kind of circles through Cape Suzette showing it to Kit before he kind of circles back and lands in the harbor.
Yeah.
Where his building is. Baloo's Air Service. We see he lands he has like a building where he lives and works. And there's he docks the plane there.
Yeah.
Kit and Baloo head to Baloo's place. I do love like Baloo meets this kid and he's the embodiment of is anyone gonna adopt this kid? And he like
doesn't wait for an answer.
Like he's like I'll do it. All right.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah, I like because even though he's like this lazy slob, as we'll see, he likes kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, this kid's cool. He's all right. So, oh god, Baloo's place. Woof. It's this tall wooden building.
Yeah.
And we see in I guess the main level, there's all kinds of shit. There's just so much shit. It's impossible to name it all because they have drawn so much junk in his place. My god.
Which honestly, like I don't like how obviously it's disgusting.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yeah, like show us that he really like only cares about flying.
Yes.
Like not even he can't even maintain his business.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. He sits down in his gross patchy armchair and Kit wanders in like, yo, what the fuck is this? Yeah, you live like this? Damn, bitch, you live like this? We see he lifts up like a cup that has like gum stuck to it. Baloo has a 2-month-old newspaper.
Yeah.
That he reads. He comments that, hey, the Sox won the series. So we know we're in alternate universe. The Red Sox have not won.
Oh my god.
The baseball game in decades. Anyway, Kit chides Baloo because that newspaper is 2 months old and Baloo lives in a pigsty.
Yeah. Just stacks of paper,
like garbage. Yeah, but we see that newspaper is 2 months old, just like these unpaid bills Kit has unearthed.
Yep. And like Baloo really doesn't pay any mind.
No. Yeah, it's detail stuff.
They're bills.
Yeah, they're bills. But I love Kid is immediately kind of critical. Like he's not mean about it, but he's like,
Oh, yeah.
no way to run an airline.
Mm-hmm.
I do love because we have this immediate contrast to Baloo the adult,
Yep.
who is loose and fancy free.
Mhm.
Like he doesn't care about the small detail stuff.
No.
He cares about the big picture, which is flying the plane.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Kit is the child,
Yeah.
and so it's the comedy of him being aware of unpaid bills and pointing them out
being
and like
your business is gonna fail. If
yeah, calling Baloo out on his bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's that fun contrast, obviously, with the kid being the more responsible one. And we can assume, yeah, Kid is an orphan.
Yeah.
He's had to fend for himself, so the small detail stuff matters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like we've seen, I think, just from his introduction, like
Mhm.
how he planned out his escape from the pirates.
Yeah.
He succeeded.
Yeah.
He stole from Darn Carnage right in front of him
Mhm.
and jumped out of the plane,
Yep.
jumped out of the airship because he planned. He
Yeah.
planned the detail
Everything,
stuff.
Yeah.
He
He knew he was gonna hitchhike. Like.
yes, he knew where to grab the grappling hook gun. He knew to jump. He knew to pack his airfoil.
Yeah.
So we see, so in contrast, and the
Mhm.
more into the characters, Baloo has been able to kind of coast through life.
Because he's just really good at what he does. That
Yes.
people are probably willing to like have to chase him down. Be like,
Yeah.
hey Baloo, you said you would do this.
Yes,
Like,
people are probably willing to let things slide
Yeah.
like that because he's such a good
Yeah.
pilot. Whereas Kit is an orphan
Mhm.
who has no friends, will learn, and needs to rely only on himself
Mhm.
and the details
Yeah.
to survive,
Yep.
which is fun, which is interesting.
It's a good balance.
Yeah, again, continuing that, flying is like his life's purpose.
Mhm.
So the bills and the details stuff doesn't really matter as
Yeah.
much.
He specifically says that he only like works
Mhm.
if he has to. Like
Yes.
if there's something to pay, I guess.
Yes, yeah. If he needs the money, he's like, all right, I'll take a job.
Mhm.
Otherwise, he flies just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Which is fun. Like that
Mhm.
flying is so important. It's the freedom of it,
Mhm.
which we see is why we assume Kit wants a plane.
Yeah.
Is that freedom that's attached to being a pilot, being able to go wherever you want, whenever you want.
Yep.
But Baloo and his continuing crusade to adopt this child kind of invites Kit to be his navigator.
Mhm. Yeah, he's like, I've been thinking of getting one. Do you wanna join the crew?
Yeah.
And he gives him this cap. Very cute.
Iconic cat that
Yeah.
completes his look.
Yeah.
He flips the cat backwards.
Mm-hmm. Show that he's cool.
Yes.
Well, that's all detail stuff, kid. Me, I'm a big picture kind of guy.
No way to run an airline.
Look, I only work when I have to and no more. Flying is what life's all about. In fact, I've been thinking of adding a navigator. Interested?
Me? Oh, no way. I gotta get back to Louie's place.
But Kit's like, no, I'm not interested. I need to get back to Louie's place.
Yeah, yeah.
Ellen Blue's like, boy?
We were literally wait, like we were literally just there. What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I love because Kit again. He immediately gets defensive when anything about him, anything gets questioned, like
Yeah.
any of his plan, and he's like, very
Like standoffish.
yeah. He's like, yeah, and I want to go back, okay? Like, Kit's saying Baloo's been nothing but chill this whole time, so he's like,
Like settle down. He's like, does this tough guy routine work on all your friends? And that's when, Kid reveals that he doesn't have any.
he's no friends.
Aw.
I love how honestly he admits it. Maybe because he has no friends. Teach him not to admit stuff like that. Yeah, it is like when he admitted he doesn't have parents. It just kind of like he's sad about it, but he doesn't lie.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, I don't have any friends. Damn. And Blue apologizes, but he's not due back at Louis for a few weeks.
Yeah.
But the kid doesn't explain why he has to go back, so
But before they can really get into it, there's a knock on the door.
yes.
Someone was watching this house waiting for Baloo to come.
Yeah. I mean, they probably would. Because they couldn't get a hold of him. So they're like, all right, someone just go by now and go see if he's there. I want to know who voices this guy. The voice sounds really familiar.
It does, but I did not bother to look it up.
So we get a bank. We have I think he's a gopher.
I think so.
A gopher bank guy who has arrived at the door
Yes.
in the top hat. And what does he sounds like? Does he sound like the White Rabbit from Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That kind of
Nasal.
nasal. There we go. I'm like, what's how you
Yeah.
get nasal? I'm not sure who voices him.
We try to find
Oh
out.
yeah, we took a quick little break to try to find out his voice actor. Maybe Frank Walker.
Maybe.
Maybe there's no one else. He was not listed.
Mm-mm.
Everyone else was listed, but him.
Yeah.
So
Well, he just whipped up a voice real
yeah,
quick.
it sounds familiar, but I'm not quite sure. So it's a representative from the Cape Suzette National Bank
Mm-hmm.
about his airplane loan.
Yes.
Oh, that's a thing. 'Cause of course,
Yeah.
everyone's got planes. So yeah, he had to take out loans
Yeah.
on his plane.
And at first, like, Baloo's kind of like, wow, look at my plane, isn't he a beauty?
Yeah,
And we
we-
do this, like, really nice shot.
Like this matte painting shot
Yeah.
of the plane sitting in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And the bank guy's like, you were late on 6 payments, so now we're forced to like foreclose on your bank loan.
Because he's like, you owe $3,000.
Yeah, unless the 3,000 that are due
Mhm.
by tomorrow, or they're taking the plane.
Mm-hmm. And they're due at 9 a.m.
Yes. Hey, Lee, I love Baloo was chill, and then when the bank guy gets to the end of that sentence, he like picks him up,
Yeah.
and he's like, "You're gonna take my plane?"
And unless funds totaling $3,000 are deposited in our fiduciary institution by 9 a.m. tomorrow, we will be forced to foreclose on your aircraft loan.
You're gonna take my plane? You can't! That's my baby!
We have sent numerous notices.
He's distraught.
Yeah, he's like so just like oh, this poor government.
Yeah.
So being lifted up and is like and this man
He's
is
very
begging.
chill. Like he doesn't react. He like tips his hat back, and he's like, "We sent numerous notices." And we see Blue as a flashback to Kit, like
Look at these unpaid bills.
These unpaid bills. And he puts the gopher back down and kind of like brushes him off.
Mm-hmm.
I thought those were sweepstakes giveaways. It's real fun. But the bank guy's like, "Yeah, I'm leaving."
Mm-hmm.
And leaving Baloo behind to deal with the fact that he owes $3,000 to the bank, which in 1930s money is insane.
Oh yeah, can't even imagine.
Yeah.
What the fuck.
Like
$6,000 is a lot for me right now.
Yeah, like a soda costs like 10 cents.
Yeah. Oh.
So who makes
oh,
$3,000?
Baloo, whatever.
You know, I love he's just in distress. Like he's like leaning against the door, pounding on the wall. Like, what am I gonna do? And the kid's like, "Can't you get a job?"
Yeah.
And I love Baloo's response, "A job." He's like, "You're a genius with a capital J."
Classic joke.
Classic.
Like he's immediately like, oh, I'm chill. Oh, I'm losing my goddamn mind about it. To the point where he's just like, I'm doomed. I've lost the plane.
Yeah, it's just so funny. A job. Like it's never occurred. Like he's like, "How do I make $3,000?" And Kit's
Yeah.
like, a job?
Yeah.
You know? Like work that can be exchanged for money, which can then be spent on goods and services.
So they immediately go to this like
The
job
old,
board.
the old job board. And Kid's asking if they can really make $3,000 this fast.
And Baloo's like, yeah, you can if the job's like nasty enough. And he finds one.
Mhm.
It's a zoo delivery of just like I guess the worst creature to ever exist.
Yes. And we see Baloo describes them as big, mean, ugly, and smelly. And that's enough for Kit to know that they are gorilla birds.
Yeah.
They are like Kevin from Up's
Yeah.
inbred cousin.
Oh, no. I mean, yeah.
They're real bad looking. They look kind of like in Alice in Wonderland, the
I was gonna
birds.
say.
That the queen uses for
the
croquet.
Yeah.
Like that, but also
But worse.
but horrible.
Yeah.
Like that mixed with a vulture
Mhm.
and like a turkey.
Yeah.
And they make nonstop like farting noises plus
Mhm.
other noises, all provided by the incredibly talented Frank Walker, folks.
Of course.
Let's give him a hand. And we see that I assume they kind of had him in the cargo hold, but they burst out into the cockpit,
Mhm.
which is
Going at it like they like the plane is going down. And,
Yeah, I love because at first, like, Blue's fighting them off and being chill about it. When they start gnawing on the plane, he loses his cool a bit.
See? Nothing to it.
Yeah, right.
It's a piece of cake. Get them out of here! They're eating my plane!
Because he was like, oh, it's a piece of cake, and immediately like, get them out, they're eating my plane.
And so they're flying over a jungle very, very close to the canopy.
Yeah.
While Kit is like kind of with a broom trying to whack the birds back into the cargo hold.
He just managed to whack Baloo.
Yeah.
Who gets kind of like, hey, like, what the fuck?
But then Baloo leaves the yoke to help Kit push the birds back.
And they do manage to like lock him in the cargo hold again.
Just in time for them to get shot at by the pirates again.
Just fucking going at it.
Yeah.
And yeah, Baloo is very confused about why they keep hunting him down.
Yeah. And like, I love Kit says, "Don't look at me." Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Subtlety. He's like, "Oh, I'm just a kid.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy." But yeah, plane's getting shot at again. This plane gets fucked up so often. It's great. You see bullet holes in the windshield. It's incredible.
I was like thinking, I was like, none of the original plane remains. It's always getting fucked up.
Like, spoilers for the end of this movie. The plane gets blown up.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Doesn't it?
Just completely. Yeah.
It gets blown up. It gets well and fucked up all the time. That is like the thing you can count on. This plane will get fucked up. Oh, so often. It's great.
Destroyed.
They're flying very low to this jungle canopy, and now they're flying through the jungle. And we do get a couple of really nice, I guess, watercolor. Like the jungle looks real nice.
Yes.
And the air pirates are chasing them through. I think adding with that kind of the more fantastical elements of the world. The jungle is so massive.
Oh yeah, because like they're not like knocking down vines and trees. They're able to go through gaps, and it's just these huge like trees and everything. This greenery, it's very nice.
And we see Baloo's intelligence with flying, his skill. There's like a rope bridge.
Yeah.
And he flies low enough to hit it.
Yeah.
Enough that it swings into the air pirate's path behind him.
And he knocks him into like a river.
Yeah. And we see they're flying through a canyon. I think with the canyon, like it ends very abruptly.
Yes.
And so they kind of burst through some bamboo and then crash on sand.
Yeah.
So like the plane's not damaged or anything, but they do crash.
Yeah. Just as Baloo was bragging about how good his flying was.
Yeah. And so they're safe for the moment. And I love above the Carnage and the other pirates are searching. I love how he says, "Curses and more curses." Just stuck with me. It's funny because he can't swear, so he is effectively swearing. He's cursing.
I love that for it.
It was fun. It made me laugh.
Curses and more curses. They are down there somewhere. Find the boy. Got it?
And he knows they're down there somewhere.
Yeah.
So he ordered the pirates to get looking. They have little radios in their planes.
So we go back to Baloo, who's, looking at the damage, which, like, it's riddled in bullet holes.
Bullet holes, broken windows, and, bullet holes in the side. And this is Baloo finally pieces it together.
Yeah.
Which, in his defense, like, why would
you assume that they're after the child?
Yes. Yeah. But he realizes, he's like, I don't get it. Like, he has nothing they want, but every time me and you go fly anywhere, they come after me. And he's like, wait a minute. You!
They're after you!
Phew! I think we lost them.
Maybe. But it don't figure. I got nothing they want, but they attack us every time me and you... Wait a minute. You! They're after you! Talk to me, kid. What's with you and the pirates?
Look, what do you care?
They're shooting up my plane, son.
Yeah, that's all that matters. You're playing.
And I love Kit's just like, God damn it. Like, he figured it out.
Yeah.
Well, because obviously Baloo's mad.
Yeah.
But he just wants Kit to explain.
Yeah, like, what the fuck is happening?
Like, yeah, what's with you and the pirates? What are they after?
Yep. And, yeah, again, Kit is like, what is care? She shot down my plane.
You've been shooting at me. You don't wanna explain? You don't wanna fill in the blanks for me?
Kit is like, yeah, that's all that matters. You're
Yeah.
playing, and he like
Yeah.
walks out.
He bursts out. Yeah. He gets out of the plane. Kit throws a little tantrum.
Walks into the jungle.
Yeah. Yeah. And Blue first tries to kind of bring him back, but he's like, nah, he'll be back.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like we see a second of like Kit just like, nah, he is marching into the jungle. He is upset. How long do you think this ruse was gonna go on? Like, I don't know why the pirates keep shooting at us.
Wonder what's happening. Like,
yeah, but obviously, yeah, Kit started when he gave Kit a ride. When Kit showed up, yeah.
Yeah, we see like Baloo walking through some like tall grass, and he's like,
yeah, well, because the birds got out.
Yeah.
The gorilla birds got out, so Baloo's gonna have to go look for them. Meanwhile, yeah, Kit is on his own.
Yeah. And he's just kind of like, fuck that guy, fuck his plane. I'll get my own plane. It'll be better than his.
Yeah.
Like.
And then he wanders right into Don Carnage's path.
Yep.
It is scary because we get a shot of Carnage's boot coming down, and it's like the boot but specifically Kit are in focus, and we see how scared he looks when Carnage shows up.
And we get like pans of like his face and his very sharp teeth.
Yeah. And he tells them, "Long time no see." See? Which is fun. So yeah, so they have history.
Yeah.
Wonder what it could be. Well, Baloo is looking for the birds, and they climbed a tree.
Yeah.
They all land on him, and so he's like wrangling them. Meanwhile, we see Kit has been tied upside down.
Yeah, and I love this shot because we have like he's looking at Don Carnage and the pirates, and they're upside down, his point of view, and I'm like, that's a good choice.
It was fun. Yeah. We go straight from Baloo with the birds straight to this upside down shot, which is fun.
Yeah.
And we do see a bit more of the diversity of the pirates, like their distinct looks.
Yeah.
They're all dogs or wolves or something.
Yes.
They're not all the same species.
No.
They all look very different. This fucking insane, like, yellow one we're gonna meet in another episode. He has, like, dynamite strapped to his arm. Yeah. We meet him episode, maybe 3 or 4. I forget his fucking name, but he is crazy.
Yeah.
He scares me so bad. Dump truck. I think the short one is Ratchet.
Maybe, yeah.
Or maybe the other one's Ratchet. I think the short one's Ratchet.
Okay.
Maybe.
I don't remember.
I can't remember the skinny one's name. I'll learn his name when they say it.
Yes.
So we have Kit tied up, hanging upside down, and the pirates obviously are threatening him. They want to know where the box is.
Because he's like, Don Carnage is like, oh, so you don't remember where the box is? Like, let's jog your memory. And he's like, there's a lot of animals with sharp pointed teeth, and then Kit bites him.
Bites him like on the butt, like right? Yes. Because he's threatening to leave Kit in the jungle for the night. Meanwhile, Kit is
like rocking.
Yeah, because Carnage is his back to Kit, and Kit is like rocking back and forth, trying to bite him. It's like, fuck you. If anyone deserved to swear, it was Kit.
Yeah.
Just one.
He gets the pass.
He bites Carnage on the butt, and Carnage gets like aghast.
Perhaps a night in the jungle will jog your memory. There are numerous hungry animals in the jungle, you know. With sharp, pointed teeth. You bit me!
This animation of him, like, grabbing Kit and, like, throwing him back. Like, how dare you? Meanwhile, Baloo has wrangled the birds successfully. He's marching them back to the Sea Duck.
Yes. But he's able to hear Don Carnage, and then he's, opens some leaves and sees, the fucking threatening...
Yes.
Oh, kids.
Yeah, he sees this kid being threatened at a sword point, and he's demanding to know where the plane is, and Kit just bluffs.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, fuck you, I don't know anything.
Yeah, he's like I don't know any planes, I don't have any friends that could have helped me be here. Like,
Yeah, he's like
you.
yeah, protecting Baloo.
Yeah.
He's like, what plane? I walked here. Yeah, so he is trying to protect Baloo, but he's like, yeah, I don't have any friends, like to not sell Kid out, not sell Baloo out.
Yeah.
And Baloo sees this.
Yeah. And then Grenage orders that dump truck get him some turnips and sandpaper.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what the fuck he's gonna do with
Yeah,
that.
like he's gonna
Great.
the turnip, but it's a turnip. Like
Yeah.
what?
I don't.
It's just a bizarre thing. God knows.
His famous turnip and sandpaper.
Yes, it's so maybe it's a reference to something that I can't be bothered to look
Yeah.
up. Who cares? But we see Baloo sees obviously the kid is protecting him from the pirates, and so he starts to untie the gorilla birds to cause a distraction to free Kit, and obviously he'll lose the birds in the process and loses his $3,000.
Don Grenage gets his weapons.
Yeah, he has a sword right there, so he's gonna threaten him again. And Kit's response is to tell him to stuff it in his windsock, and he is so offended by this.
He's like,
my windsock.
Yeah, he's extremely offended.
Honey, the windsock is that thing on like airfields, like that, like usually like bright orange or striped thing, kind of measures how strong the wind is.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
It's just so funny the way he gets so offended.
Then he draws his sword and goes
like to kill the kid. Like he gets mad.
But he smells something bad, and it's the fucking gorilla birds.
Yeah, so they stampede out. They like burst through the pirates, and so Baloo jumps out of the kind of the underbrush where he was hiding. And a thing I really liked that I also really liked about something they did a lot in DuckTales was Baloo cuts the rope with his teeth.
Yeah,
there's a bear.
Yeah, I love that.
And I did that a couple times in DuckTales. I know Webby did it at least once. And a couple other characters did it too. Because they have like their animals. They cut stuff with their teeth.
Yeah, love that.
That's a very fun thing they chose to do. Like no knife, he just bites it.
Yeah, he's
love it. He's a bear. Meanwhile, Carnage has climbed a tree to avoid the gorilla birds.
And he's like, I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Yeah. Blue and Kit rush to a small cliff overlooking because there's like they crash the plane near water.
Yeah.
On this stretch of sand, and they reach a cliff like across the water from the plane, and all of the alligators in the world
show up
right this second. Although they are not really a threat.
No.
They show up. They're scary.
Yeah. They kind of just like. If they were like really slippery stones, kind of walk over them.
Yeah. Like the animation when they jump over them is fun. I do like that specifically before Kid and Baloo race across the alligators. They both say "polchocks," which is both a saying that means pack up and leave. In relation to planes, it is to literally remove the wedges that keep the plane wheels from moving. Like when a plane is parked.
Yeah.
Quote unquote. Okay. The wedges keep it from rolling.
Yeah.
And so I'm assuming that's what more specifically they mean.
Yeah.
Because they're both plane nerds. They know what they're saying.
Yeah. And
because planes is just such a part of the society. I know, like that it's a more common phrase for them to use. I just remember always liking the use of the phrase, and when I looked it up, I was like, "Oh, I love that! That's so fun."
I forgot to Google it, even though I was like, that has to be something specific."
Yeah.
I just forgot.
No, I looked it up from when I last rewatched the episode. Yeah, so they're like, "All right," they're like, "We're gonna go, like we're pulling out," and they just leap over every single one of these alligators.
It's very like dramatic, but there's no like fear that they're gonna get bit.
No,
it's very like.
It's very fast, kind of frenetic motion. As they just jump across them all. And they jump right into the plane. But Kit just stops to be like, wait, what about the birds? But Baloo right away establishes that Kit, his new navigator, is much more important to him.
Yeah. Aww. Very sweet moments.
It's cute.
And they're able to take off. We see, they're kind of flying away. We see Kit looking for spoons, and he overhears like Baloo saying goodbye.
To the plane. Yeah. Because he does not have the money to pay the bank.
Yeah.
And Kit, we see he's feeling more sympathetic now
Mhm.
about Baloo losing his plane.
Yeah. And he's like, like, no one's ever stood up for me, so I want to do this for you. So he lets Baloo know, like, I have this treasure and I'm going to share it with you.
And Baloo at first is like this little 12-year-old. He's like, oh, that's sweet, but like,
Yeah,
this is
you Pokemon card collection. They work that much.
But Kid's like, no, I have a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Blue's like, yeah. But he's like, no, why do you think the pirates are after me?
Mm-hmm.
And that's when Baloo's like, wait, shit.
Yeah. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
For real?
Like, it has to be something serious. Because he's like, like, why else would the fucking Don Carnage be after this kid?
And Kid just tell him what it's in the box. It is a big glowing jewel.
Yeah. So they gotta go back to Louis.
Yeah. He tells him, he hid it at Louis, so they gotta go back and get it.
Mm-hmm.
And Louis like, and Jesus, Baloo's like, oh, he's like, well, we'll get it in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, because with this treasure, he could buy back the sea duck.
Mm-hmm.
They can buy back a whole bunch of sea ducks, as Kid points out. They're partners. They're gonna go back and get it. They're gonna share this treasure.
Mm-hmm.
And I do love that they conclude with a reprise of Baloo's song.
Yeah, it's very cute.
They're like, everything's going our way, everything's chill.
Yeah.
Like,
I love it. And yeah, they're literally like flying into like a sunset, I'm assuming.
Yeah, they're flying into Cape Suzette.
Yeah.
And into the sunset, you're right.
You mean it?
I hid it at Louis.
I could buy back the sea duck.
We could buy a whole bunch of sea ducks.
Well, how about we go get it first thing in the morning? You and me.
I'm gone and we gotta fly.
I'm gone. Adios. Bye-bye. Don't trouble us with trouble, man. We're gone.
Very nice.
Fun way to end. Like this first part, they're on a mission.
Yes.
They're working. They're on the same wavelength now.
Yeah.
And that is the end of part 1 of Talespin's premiere, Plunder and Lightning.
Yes. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your final thoughts before we get into we have some questions?
I know. I really like it. It's just like it very much is like more serious, especially this first episode, because you have like, what is this kid up to? Like these pirates. Baloo's getting his plane fork. Still fun.
Yeah.
It's just it is a little bit more grounded in its own world.
Yeah. Agree. I have to lie about how much I like this show. I've talked enough.
Yes. It's very good. Yeah.
We do have some comments and such. And obviously this is part 1, so if you have comments or questions for the other 3 parts, send them to us. We would love to hear from you. We're the Talespin fans. Come to us. Yes. I know you're out there. MT Easton. I always thought this was a great show. Placing the Jungle Book characters in an Indiana Jones like an action adventure setting with sky pirates and smugglers was great fun. Plus, Don Carnage. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Very fun. Shy Lost Confused says, Talespin was one of my favorite shows growing up. Absolutely idolized the boy bear. Wanted to be as cool as him.
Super
cool. Kit.
Yeah.
Super fucking cool. From Butch Bear King. My thoughts are I wish Baloo was my dad.
Aww.
He's just wholesome dad.
He's the original.
Yeah.
Honestly,
he's
dad.
like, looked at Kit. Anyone gonna adopt this kid?
Yeah.
Did not wait for an answer. He's like, I'm signing the adoption papers as we speak. What was that, Navigator? What was that? No problem.
Love that. Love that for him.
Yeah. Give me, I love that Blue's inherent, across all universes, that he wants to, he's gonna adopt a kid. It's priority number 1. I believe that is all for Twitter at the moment. We have a sort of question from Knight Says Knee on Tumblr that they love this show. I wonder how it was pitched. I mean, a 1930s cargo pilot AU of the Jungle Book is quite an idea.
I mean, yeah.
It's wild. And I did explain how it was pitched it was birthed from 2 different kind of failed show ideas.
Yeah.
They were kind of merged into one,
Mm-hmm.
which is great.
Yeah.
It's great. It is wild.
Yeah.
Like, cause the cargo pilot stuff was originally for Launchpad,
Yeah.
and then you had Baloo in this completely separate show. But they're like, all right, take Baloo, remove Launchpad, and drop him in there.
And it works.
And it works so good. It works so well. I think it
Make it Art Deco.
Art Deco,
Steampunk. Add in some musical numbers here.
Great John Carnage. Brand new character. I want to know who's responsible for him.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, very fun world. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
And we do have, I believe, 2 leftover questions for Rescue Rangers that we did not get to last time. So let me just get to those now. Purple Cyborg Newt said, or asked, this is again relating to Rescue Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
I was in such a fugue state reviewing the later episode that I barely checked Tumblr, so my bad that these are late. Just found out there's a second part of the recap already, Rescue Rangers.
Mm-hmm.
So currently listening. And yeah, sorry to say, but Rescue Rangers isn't going to become any better at treating its Asian characters further on. Woof. I outright skip certain episodes when watching reruns, but it's not the option for you, obviously, so my sympathies regarding some of the stuff you'll have to watch in the future. We're in the clear! We're in the clear! I am not forced to watch any more Rescue Rangers!
I might, but I probably will skip it.
Yes. No, yeah, if you get that bad vibe.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Skip.
Sure.
Goodbye.
Ooh.
Yeah, we are not watching all of these series through.
No.
Talespin I would, but to Rescue Rangers I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was listening to us episode 3 that came out, and I like just the fact that you were painting your nails while you were recording. I was like, yeah.
I was checked out even then. That was the best episode. Oh no.
That was like the start of like the the fun. Yeah.
Gadget showed up.
Yeah.
Finally. Jesus. Anyway, from Wizard Bronla, again on Tumblr. Hi, I'm not sure if you've already recorded the 5th episode. Yes, I'm sorry. But if you didn't, would you rather have to watch the Rescue Rangers movie for 24 hours on end, or have to listen to Chip and Dale speak in their high-pitched voices right in your ear for 24 hours? Love the podcast and you guys. Clearly not in a, like, Saw-style trap, where it's either lose our minds or burst our eardrums.
Yeah. I think for me, watching the movie, yeah, but it would also just do damage to me, and you already know that I'm in a fugue state regarding the Rescue Rangers.
So much psychological damage to me.
Yeah. But I don't.
The movie.
Yeah, the movie.
Yeah. Listen to their high-pitched. I hate their high-pitched voices, so obviously the movie.
I don't mind them that much.
I hate it when because they're meant to be main characters and like you can't take them seriously.
Yeah. I'll choose the voices though, because I know that watching the movie would just damage
the
my
voices.
brain. Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's a safer option for me.
Okay. Look
at my spiral on Twitter.
Swear. But yeah, so those were all of our questions so far. Please send us more questions. We have 3 more episodes of Talespin to cover.
I'm always interested by like people who watched this show growing up.
Yeah. Or if you just discovered it now. What do you think of it? Do you like it? You better like it, because I love it. We have 3 more episodes. We're going to meet Rebecca Cunningham and Molly and Sher Khan. Wildcat. He's so fun. Very exciting stuff. So stay tuned.
Yes.
And follow us on Twitter and Tumblr. You know where to find us. We want to hear from you.
Yes.
And thank Michael and Spintrick for our lovely cover art. And without further ado, should we change it? Should we say spin it?
Yeah.
Or saludos amigos?
Just saludos amigos.
All right. Without further ado, saludos amigos.
Saludos amigos.